Hey guys, today we're making a Minecraft wooden sword in real life with the real sticks that we find in our yard. Well, let's get searching.
So we went looking for some good sticks. After we found some suitable ones, we took them into our garage to dry. And we got some more, just in case we needed them.
So it was just raining, and these are a little wet, so we're gonna let them dry in the garage for a little bit. See you in a few days.
After a few days, they were nice and dry and ready to work with. This is the piece of wood that we'll be using for the sword. And the stick's pretty long, so we're gonna cut off a little bit of it. And this is me sawing. And more sawing. And more sawing. There's a lot of sawing. For the sword, we're going to be going from the bottom to the top, starting with the handle, then the guard, and finishing it off with the blade. Here, we're chiseling down the bottom of the stick, so we can later go on and wrap something around it to create the handle. Whoa! And there is the chiseling done. Now we're sanding it down to get it nice and smooth so we can apply some wood glue later. And after a little bit of struggle, we got it out. And it was getting pretty late, so we called it a day and we started cleaning up the place. So the only thing we're going to be able to do today is glue the wrapping onto the handle because it takes 24 hours to dry. So we put the wrapping on and waited 24 hours. See you tomorrow.
Hey guys, it's day 2 of making the sword, and the handle is finally dry. It's actually been like a week, but hey, we were procrastinating. Give some slack. But next is the pommel right here. So if you don't want to know what a pommel is, it's like the big thing at the end of the handle. We'll have like a PNG up there. We actually probably should have started with the pommel, but we forgot. So we need to find something to use for the pommel. And you're probably asking, Alex, you're talking. It's not a voiceover. Yeah, the mics came in. They work amazing. Actually, fun fact here, the old mics were never broken. We just weren't using them correctly. So now we have 2 sets of mics, just in case anyone ever breaks one. So, well, let's go get that piece of wood, eh?
Okay, so we found this piece right here, and we're going to use this for the pommel. We're just probably going to cut it around there, drill a hole, and stick it on the bottom of the handle. And fun fact, this is actually the piece we cut off, like right here. So, seems fitting we use it for the pommel. Let's get working.
And I'm back. Told you there was going to be a lot of sawing. And more sawing. And now we're sanding down the pommel until it is nice and flat so we can Dremel into it to stick it onto the back of the sword handle.
So we cut this, we sanded it down. Next, we gotta draw a circle and mine into it just like in Minecraft. Just big enough to fit the end of that handle. But first, a short intermission for lunch.
Dremeling is another thing that we do a lot throughout this video, and here Bob is obviously dremeling the hole into the pommel. Hello, Editing Pandas here. We'd like to inform you that we hit 100 subscribers, and we'd like to thank you for that. And make sure you guys subscribe and like the video and share it with somebody. Back to the video. Focus.
Make sure you don't crack it.
I love my no, I hit my finger.
Make sure you don't crack it. Farther! Farther!
I heard.
I did.
Farther! Farther! You didn't make it big enough. Oh. Hot cold.
Okay, guys, so while we were banging the pommel into the handle, the pommel kind of cracked in half, so we put some glue on it. We're going to let that dry. Wood glue. Not regular glue, wood glue. Specifically made for wood. But we're going to let that dry for 24 hours. And tomorrow we will come back and hopefully try to bang it back into the handle. Hopefully it doesn't break again. But, I mean, it's getting kind of dark. You can't see, but it's getting pretty dark. So we're going to call it a day. See you tomorrow for Day 3.
Whoa, it's finally dry. Now to make the hole a little bigger so we won't crack it again. And more dremeling. I told you there was going to be a lot of that, didn't I? Fits on there nicely, doesn't it? Now to glue it. And yet again, another 24 hours. See ya.
Hey guys, we're back out here today. It's actually been a while since we videoed this last. I believe December was when we were last out here. It's just because it got really cold over that month and it was super cold and we didn't want to come out here because we had to video it out here. But today is warmer and we are back out here to make the guard. And if you don't know what the guard is, it's that little cross section thing on the sword right about here. And it does what the name implies. It guards your hand from sliding up into the blade. So let's get into it.
Alright, so before we make the guard, we're going to have to saw off this little bit right here. So, let's get sawing.
So since we weren't able to saw off the whole thing, we're going to do a little sanding on the sharp edges.
Okay, so we shaved this region down a bit, so it's a lot less sharp and looks a bit nicer.
So before we get started on the guard, we're going to have to shave down that part right there, just because it's kind of too big.
Okay, so that took forever, but I dremeled that whole thing, and I think it looks pretty good. it looks small enough so that we can fit that other piece that we're going to use as the guard on there. Well, once again, we have to saw another piece of wood. Well,
Okay, so this is the piece of wood we were going to use for the guard. Over here has this really ugly crack right here, and as we learned from before, the pommel, that's not a good idea. Over here is pretty rotted out, so we were thinking right about here in the middle would be a good place to chop it. Now after we chop this and cut it to size, we're going to chop it in half, Dremel in holes on each side, then glue it over the handle. Hopefully that'll work. Let's go. Okay, we have this whole thing sawed off, sanded, and it looks pretty good. We also cut off this little nub here. Next thing to do is going to be to cut the whole thing in half, and then Dremel out a half circle on each of the halves, and then glue them back together on the sword. Let's get sawing.
so we sawed them and then sanded these edges so they're a bit flatter. So when we Dremel the little half circle on each edge, they fit a bit better together. Alright, so that took forever, but we were able to Dremel out a half circle on each of these pieces, and they actually fit together really well. I'm super excited to show you how they look on the sword. Okay, so this is how it looks when both sides are on it. In my opinion, it looks pretty good. That just took forever, and I'm super excited to glue these on here.
Okay, so we got it all glued on there. We had to put some duct tape around it to make sure it stays, but hopefully it dries all right for another 24 hours.
Hey guys, today is the final day of building this thing, hopefully. As you can see, it's all dry. It came out pretty nicely. Actually, 24 hours had passed since we had put the duct tape on and all that. The duct tape actually didn't allow the glue to get air, so we let it sit there for another 24 hours. It's been like a day since that, and it's all dried. But, you know, here you can see a lot of cracks, and you see the glue there. Well, we're gonna fix that today with this. We're gonna bunch it up. It's the same thing we used for this, by the way. Bunch it up and wrap it around just like an X. We'll see how it looks.
So we finished wrapping the guard here, and after we sand down these odd bark patches, I think we're going to be done with the sword. Because there's a giant crack down the middle, and I don't feel comfortable sharpening it because it's just going to crack all the way and snap if we try to sharpen it.
Hey guys, it's finished. Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you liked it, go ahead and drop a like and drop a subscribe. We're on our way to 100 subscribers. Just need 5 more at the time of the recording. Hopefully we've hit that by the time this video gets dropped. But if not, go ahead and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. And peace out.